Wisconsin came out in the AP poll above Ohio State. I don't know if you saw that. And I
I
think
did.
that probably has something to do with this all this scandal and stuff hadn't been resolved yet. I'm curious what your thoughts are, Wisconsin or Ohio State. Who do you think
Uh,
who do you think's the real king of the Big Ten this year?
you
Besides
know,
Nebraska is going to win the national championship, of course.
yeah, I think that they flipped them on the AP. I think because obviously of the scandal. I still think that this doesn't change anything, especially because it's only the first three games for Ohio State. I think Wisconsin is a legitimate contender. I do think they are a team that can legitimately challenge Ohio State for the crown, but I just don't see it happening. I think no matter even with all the distractions, Ohio State is still going to be Ohio State. I mean, I was watching on the Big Ten Network when before the season they do the Big Ten road trip where they go to each team and they go to the practices and things like that. And even the guys there said that nothing changed. With Urban Meyer
Yeah.
not being there, nothing changed for Ohio
Well,
State.
and conversely with Wisconsin, I don't know if you saw what was saying after he came to Nebraska. He was comparing things that he'd seen at Wisconsin and Nebraska and Iowa. It was after he went to Iowa and Iowa, and he was saying that, and then I think a lot of people have been echoing this, that the West is more wide open than it's been in a while. He would say Wisconsin just didn't feel like they felt in the past few years. And over the last couple of weeks, I've heard about a lot of they've lost their kicker. They lost I forget the name of their number one wide receiver has now left the team because he's being charged for sexual assault. They've lost a few other key players on their team. I mean, you always kind of trust their defense because they're that kind of team. But then the Big Ten, the bus tour you're talking about, they go to Nebraska, they go to Iowa, they go to Northwestern, and they're seeing cohesive teams that are ready and hungry to take over. So I think that we're going to see a new champion or a new contender coming out of the West this year. So yeah, I think the rating for Wisconsin is a little too high. I think that they're using a little too much from last year and not considering how.
I don't know. I don't know about that because
I mean, number 4. I don't think they're number 4 in the country.
they are returning that big bad offensive line that they had last year. Most of their starters there. Jonathan Touchdown Taylor's back.
Yeah,
I think
it's true. They're going to have a good run game, but I don't trust Hornibrook. And they've lost a lot of other key pieces. And I just think that other teams in the West are like I said, they're hungry to come after them.
I would agree that I think the West is
Wisconsin's got a pretty tough schedule. So does Nebraska. I think Nebraska's got the toughest schedule, either them or Michigan in the Big Ten. But
yeah, especially because you're playing. I think Michigan State's at home, but you're playing 3 of the 4 best teams in the Big Ten East, and
Nebraska is, yeah,
and
Michigan
I want to say
it's a home game.
2 of the 3 is on the road. You're playing at the Big House, at the Horseshoe,
at Wisconsin, at Iowa. It's a tough year. This is a tough year for Nebraska. Here, listen to Michigan's schedule. It's pretty tough too. They play Notre Dame this year. They start the season at Notre Dame. They get Western Michigan, which I know FCS team, but still
Western Michigan's MAC team.
Oh yeah, you're right, MAC team, but a formidable opponent when it comes to, and similar to how Troy might not be a Power 5 team, but they were 11-2 last year, including the bowl game, won their conference and beat LSU at LSU.
On the road, yeah.
So we got to be ready for that. So then Michigan gets Southern Methodist. They get Nebraska. They go to Northwestern, Maryland. That should be cakewalk. Then their other crossover, Wisconsin. And then they're at Michigan State, at Ohio State. They get Penn State, obviously, at home. And that's a pretty rough schedule right there.
Yeah, I think that
I don't know. I think Nebraska is harder, though. Honestly, I think Troy over Western Michigan kind of puts them over.
Yeah, I would say Nebraska has probably the tougher schedule just because.
I'm glad we don't play Penn State this year.
Oh man.